Now with us reviewing the morning papers, TV presenter Sarah Kaywood and US political analyst Dr. James Boyes. And we are going to have a look at the American election again because it's current, it's happening. We need to keep talking about it.
This time in The Independent. So it's all right.
The Independent, having a look at what would happen if Obama and Romney tied. This has never happened, has it? So,
yeah,
what are the chances?
Well, never say never, because, you know, there's always these little ambiguities. The American Constitution is held up around the world as being, in many ways, the ideal, and a lot of countries end up emulating it when they start a new constitution of their own. But there's so many contradictions in it. And it was, of course, a compromise solution put together many, many, many years ago now, when America was just 13 colonies. And one of the ambiguities in it is that in the case of a tie, the decision will be made by the House of Representatives and the Senate. And if that were to happen, you would end up seeing, potentially, a President Mitt Romney and a Vice President Joe Biden, which obviously wouldn't be much good if you're Barack Obama or Paul Ryan in this case. So you could end up with this bizarre situation that nobody would actually vote for except the electors in Congress and in the House of Representatives. So a very strange situation, but, you know, never say never, because this is America and anything can happen.
Interesting. But Obama is ahead in the
just about.
polls,
A lot of these polls are within the margin of error, so it's going to be a fascinating night on Tuesday.
And what do you think it depends on? What does it rest on?
Voter turnout is going to be huge. Which of the two parties can get their supporters to the polls? In 2004, you may have turned in a lot of people queuing outside the polling stations to get in. I thought, oh, that's great. You know, the Democrats have got their supporters out. Oh, no, 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 no. Karl Rove had managed to get the Republicans out en masse and increasing voters for George W. Bush on his re-election campaign.
And I was reading this morning, maybe you can tell me how true this is, that because of Sandy, Superstorm Sandy, some people are going to be allowed to vote by email.
That's interesting. Well, one of the things the Democrats have been doing is pushing early voter turnout, trying to get people to vote early. The president, for the first time ever, voted early. And a lot of it was to do with the fact that the momentum was going so quickly behind the Republicans that they were concerned that the momentum might go so fast that Obama might lose this on election day as a result. So we'll see.
James, we know that the American election is imminent. We also know that it's very, very close. What's the Sunday Telegraph saying about it?
Well, this is my last word on the topic, I swear. What it says is very interesting. The reason I've picked this out is because it basically cuts to a point I've been trying to bang on about all year, which is that this should have been an election about issues. If you look at the state of the economy, unemployment, and the fact that the Republicans have put on their ticket someone who has come up with a very controversial alternate way to deal with America's welfare and the economy. You would have thought this would have been a stark contrast between two key issues, and the Republicans saying, we'll do it this way, Democrats doing it this way. And instead of which, surprise, surprise, this has come down to personality again. And
but isn't American politics always about
that?
I
know it is, but I mean, bizarrely and maybe ridiculously, I had a feeling that maybe they might be able to get away from that this year and talk about the issues. And when you put someone like Paul Ryan on the ticket, he's very much focused upon trying to come up with a new plan for how to address America's welfare. Whether you agree with it or not, is irrespective. The idea should have been a stark contrast, and it really hasn't come out in the way that it perhaps should have done this year. And it's a shame that it's going to focus on politics. And as the title says here, it's a shabby contest when we really need leadership and a new vision of direction in America, and therefore for the world as a large, I think.
But maybe Americans don't really vote on that basis. Do we not just accept that?
It would seem not, but hope springs eternal.
This is a story in the, what paper? The Times.
The Times.
James, this is yours.
It is. I've been trying to talk about this all morning. I feel like part of my childhood disappeared this week. George Lucas, creator of Star Wars, has sold up to the Disney organization for a cool $4 billion. Half in stock, half in cash. Now, you might say, well, that's great, he's made a lot of money. The other side to this story, however, which has just come out in the last couple of days, is he's giving the cash to charity. He's giving it all. He started a new foundation, the George Lucas Educational Foundation, talking about improving educational standards in the United States. And instead of taking this money and running away with it, he's going to basically give it all to charity. Disney, of course, are going to make a lot of money on this. They're going to churn out a new trilogy starting in 2 years' time, apparently. I'm not sure what that's going to be like. I think
well, people are wondering whether that is going to change the genre, if you like.
Well, those of us who can remember the originals...
Mickey Mouse doesn't really go with the lightsaber.
I think the last three were dreadful enough, weren't they? Yes, exactly.
Lucas and Disney have had a long relationship. If you go to Disney theme parks, the Star Tours ride have been going for like the last 20 years or so. So there is a relationship there that makes sense. But I thought the nice side of this is, you know, the idea of so much money, $2 billion going to charity, a great cause, helping education. So it's something to be congratulated.
Definitely to be applauded. Sarah and James, thank you very much for joining us this morning and taking us through the papers. Let's have a look at the weather now.